Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Golden Gloves Chat Show. I'm Ryan Mitchell and with me is Damien Durandt, the trainer. Hello Damien, it's been a long time. And of course Brendan Thysse, the fighter, needs no introduction, a brilliant fighter. Welcome guys, it's been a while since you've been in our Golden Gloves studio. So lucky to have you back here, we miss you. Let's talk now the big fight signed and sealed, Damien, between this guy and Shervantaigh Koopman for the South African junior middleweight title held by Koopman. A big night at Empress Palace on the 2nd of September. Palace Nights is what they're calling it. A fantastic night. It's going to be there with Palace Nights. And a fantastic tournament. I mean, basically a triple headliner. You got your fight, and then you got Malajika, and you got Rock Knapp, which we'll talk a bit more just now. I want to start with Damien, let me keep going with you. Let's talk about where you guys have been, how it's been going in your gym, in your life. It's been a while. It was last year since we saw you at Empress Palace on the Golden Glove Show. How's it going in your life?
Yeah, all good. The last time Brandon was out was in December against Cristiano Navasi.
Yes.
He had a very impressive win. And I know Brandon's looking forward to the fight with Koopman. We knew it was going to come at some stage of his career. And I know that the SA title is of value to him because his late father won the SA title. So
Of course.
it's very important for him to add that to the family legacy. And we're looking forward to the 2nd of September. The last outing I had on Golden Gloves' show was in Tetalelo and Corsi. On the last show, he had a good performance. And I'm looking forward to Brandon's upcoming fight against Shervantaigh Koopman. You know, Brandon was, for me, I believe, fight of the year against Rock Knapp last year.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was a lovely matchup. Two local good fighters. They put it all on the line. And I believe this fight will be the same. I think Shervantaigh Koopman is going to come very ready for his fight. And I know this fight means a lot to Brandon. You know, Brandon did fight Koopman in the amateurs and beat Koopman in the amateurs, and I know he wants to beat him in the pros.
So, you know, when we talk about domestic fights, to me, and you as a boxing man will agree with me, I'm sure, probably the best domestic fight in the country, if you go through the ratings and you take pound for pound the fighters, I would say it's the best domestic fight right now that you can put out there. And there's been talks, we've been talking for a while behind the scenes that maybe Brandon doesn't even know about. The fight's been spoken about maybe for the last year or so. And for me, local is lekker, but only if it's the best fighting, the best locally, of course. And this is the best fighting, the best.
100%.
So we're looking forward to a big fight with local is lekker. I'll ask you what's been happening behind the scenes. Your rivalry with, before we speak about the big fight, Vusi Matola, of course. You've got the two fights with Rock Knapp, the brilliant fights, 1-1, of course. And now it's Vusi Matola against Damien Durandt again. And of course, Marco Louise, who's the manager for Koopman. That rivalry, talk to us about that rivalry.
It's been a good rivalry. We had Brandon and Rock, the two fights. We had Brandon's brother Brian Thysse against Michael Head.
Yes.
And Tetalelo and Corsi versus Gift Bolo. And now we've got Brandon against Koopman. So I think it's good because I think it brings out the best in both teams.
Yes.
I believe Vusi will put in the extra efforts for the meaning of this fight because of the camps against one another, and the same on my side. You know, there's that little bit of effort that you want to put, that extra bit of effort that you want to put into the fight because of the camps coming up against each other, and it's just good for the sport. You know, last year we saw Brandon and Rock as, like I said, fight of the year, and this has got candidates for fight of the year. We haven't even got there yet, but it's got the possibility of living up to that as well, because like you said, we've got two of South Africa's best fighting one another. We saw it last year with Brandon and
Two of
Rock.
Africa's best.
Yeah,
And
then
two
you've
and
got
three in Africa.
Shervantaigh Koopman and Brandon Thysse, the two best on African soil going up against each other. So it's an exciting fight. I know the fight means a lot to me as well, you know. I've got big plans for Brandon. I want to see his career go further. After this, I really want to see him in another international. His last international was against a guy named Tommy Silvernoyen, which Brandon is the only guy to stop him. And I want to get him into the world ratings, and I'd like him to have an opportunity at an international belt after this.
Fantastic. And just getting back to that rivalry, which I love because I know all you guys behind the scenes as well. When you get in there, obviously you take your fighters in 110% condition to beat the Vusi Matola's fighters and vice versa. But outside of the boxing ring that people might know, all friends in the sport of kings, you know, and there's that mutual respect, which I love about all you guys, you know. You guys are actually friends and you have that mutual respect, but when it's fight night, it's war.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's time to rumble. Will you take a bet against Marco
Yes,
Louise?
I will. I've actually got a bet to offer.
Have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. It's double or give me back my 10 from the Brandon
So just
fight.
so viewers that have forgotten, Damien Durandt took a bet last time with Marco Louise, and obviously they sorted it out.
Yeah, so last time we
So
bet
he
10
owes
grand.
one, or he needs to go double, or whichever.
It's double or he must give me back my 10. So he's got a choice. He's either going to give me back 10 or we're pushing the bet to 20 this time. So.
Fantastic. Well, I am going to actually be interviewing Koopman and Marco Louise tomorrow. So I'll talk to him about your bet as well. I'll let him know. Damien, so a different kind of question. Do you train a guy like this that comes in such superior condition every time? Do you train him the same for every fight? Just go out there and just get as fit as you can? Or I know every opponent is different and you've got to look at the different styles. But a guy like Brandon is he a guy that just gets in and works in the gym?
He has to get in there and do the work. You know, every fighter needs to get into the ring fit.
Yes.
So that's a requirement. That's a must. He's also got to be strong and ready for the fight. But then it comes down to the game plan, the mental preparation of the fight. That's where every fight varies. The mental preparation as well as the game plan for the fight. That's where I think most things change. In terms of strength and fitness, the fighters need to have that when they get into the ring in any fight that they get into. So the most important thing is going to be game plan coming into this fight and Brandon's mentality going into this fight. You know, the fight against Rourke, he had to deal with a lot. He's overcome that, and I believe Brandon's in a good space in his life. He's got a lot to fight for now, and I believe that will show on the 2nd of September.
Is he all fired up in the gym like you see him in the fights? Because in the fights he's magnificent. He comes in there like a machine, like a Durandt.
You know, Brandon's one of those guys. He looks good in the gym, and on fight night he just looks great because he really turns it on. It's not a fighter that I look at and I'm concerned if he's going to turn it on. I know he's going to turn it on, so that's never a question in my mind. Just game plan needs to stick to it and focus in on it, and it will all come together on the night for him. That's what he's done well since he joined me. He's stuck to game plans. He's put in the hours in the gym, and that's why he's had a successful career to date. And I believe he's going to have a bigger and better career as he gets through this fight and on to bigger fights. And I look forward to it.
Fantastic. Well, Damien, we'll talk a bit more about the big fight now. How you feel about who's going to win, obviously. Brandon, let me speak to you. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Lucky to have you back in our studio. It's been a long time. I love watching you fight because, like I say, Roberto Durant's one of the greatest fighters ever. And you've just got that way about you. You get in there fired up and you can see you want to win and you come to win. Let's talk about what's been happening in your life since we last saw you at Empress Palace last year. So it's been a while. It's going to be nice to have you back. Congratulations. Your wife's just had a little baby boy. Talk to us what's happening in your life, Brandon, Thysse.
Yeah, you know, so I haven't been in the ring for a while, but it's been okay. We had a baby boy, like you said. Decided to name him Liam Lee Thysse.
Liam Lee Thysse.
Yes,
Okay.
that's going to be his
Is
name.
he going to be a boxer?
He's definitely going to probably be a boxer.
Okay.
He has my genes and my father's genes, so he'll definitely be in the boxing ring sometime. But yeah, I've been putting all my focus and all my energy into my family, you know, making sure everything is okay family-wise. And yeah, I'm just enjoying life, you know. I've been seeing new things, meeting new people, so I've just been enjoying life and I'm ready to get back into the ring, you know. I feel like mentally I'm in a better spot right now. Like my coach said, you know, with the Rourke fight, mentally I wasn't in the best spot. And to take a fight with everything going on in my life, my baby boy and everything now, I felt I needed to wait. And now I'm ready, you know, I feel I'm comfortable and I'm just excited to get back into the ring.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back in the ring at Empress. So 18 fights, lots of experience. You're a tough guy, you're a durable guy. You've got a great chin, which is, everybody wishes they had a great chin. It's every trainer's dream as well, to have a fighter with a good chin. You've got decent power, you always come to fight. How do you see this fight playing out? You're fighting a guy, Shervantaigh Koopman, like you say, you know him from the amateurs. He's 11-0 as a pro, so he's done nothing wrong yet as a pro. Obviously, he's the next level now fighting you. He's 11 fights, 8 knockouts. So he's a good puncher as well. Scientifically, he's well balanced and nice to watch. How do you see the fight playing out?
Look, Shervantaigh is no pushover. It comes to fights. I've watched his fights. I've fought him in the amateurs. even back then, you came to fight. Obviously, it's not amateurs anymore. We both grown a lot.
Both 29 years old, eh?
Yeah, both 29 years old. So we've both grown, had a lot of experience gained. But he's stepping up to fight me again. So if he's got it in him, he has to show it. He has to take it out and give it all. Because I'm no walkover. I'm coming to fight on the night, and I'm not coming to lose. I want to go to different places. I want to get bigger fights, get some international fights behind my name. Just go see the world and everything like that. So Shervantaigh standing in my way, and I'm not gonna come easy.
And of course, every fight is, I'm sure Damien will agree with me, is like a world title fight. Because you need to win the South African title by beating Shervantaigh Koopman to get to a world title. And so does he. He needs to retain his title. Otherwise, neither of you might ever get to a world title.
That's true.
So this is your world title, it's his world title. So it's a big fight for both of you. Damien, should Brandon win on the 2nd of September, where would you like to see him going forward?
So when Brandon wins on the 2nd of September, like I said, I want to see him in an international outing. I'd like him to fight for an international title, a sanctioning body, IBF, WBC, WBA, WBO, one of the big organizations. I'd like to see him entertain one of those belts. And that's where I see him going. I do believe Koopman is a solid test. He's a good boxer. He's got a good record on him. We've never seen him in vulnerable situations. So credit to him. It looks like he's got a durable chin. It will be tested on the 2nd of September. But he's calculated. He boxes well. He sticks to what he knows. And he doesn't get he doesn't get himself into uncomfortable situations. So in that regard, I think he's a very good fighter. And I think what's nice about this is that the South African title is on the line. There's a lot of things about some SA title fights. They don't have the level of the fighters are not, of elite, or you've got a very good SA champion and the challenges aren't up to...
Sometimes,
they're not up to standard, exactly. But here you've got two great fighters fighting for the South African pride.
No mismatch.
Yeah, so there's no mismatch. It's going to be a great fight, and it gives credit back to the South African title. And that's what we need to be proud of. And I know for Brandon it means a lot, because I know he wants to put that belt with his dads.
Absolutely. Well, the $1 million question, obviously, you said who you think wins. How does he do it?
Devastating fashion. I think it's a competitive fight in the beginning, but I think eventually it gets too much.
Be too much.
It's too much for sure.
Brandon by stoppage.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's fighting talk there from Damien Durandt, trainer. We'll talk to the other managers and trainers a bit closer to the fight. You said you'll take the bet as well with Walker.
I always put the bet up. He's got to take the bet.
Oh, yeah, he's
I'm putting the bet.
He's still going to accept it.
Yeah.
So you've put in the challenge for the bet now. Damien, let's talk about the tournament. So you got Thysse versus Koopman. Brilliant fight. Brilliant South African junior middleweight title fight, like we said. Rourke Knapp against Premslaw Zix from Poland, fighting a 10-round in a big international fight. Rourke is coming along nicely. Well, you know Rourke so well. The best fight of the year between these two. And then Ricardo Malajika fighting Kevin Nunes for the IBO Junior Bantamweight world title, guy from Argentina. How do you feel about the rest of the bill?
So the bill's very good. It's nice to see that Malajika is growing and he's gone into the IBO world title now. He's fighting a guy from Argentina, which I think will be a good test for him. I was impressed with how Malajika looked in his last fight. So it's a good opportunity. I think this will be another solid test to see if he can then go on and mix it with some of the big names in the junior bantamweight division. It's a really, really
tough division.
So
but then what division is not tough if you think about it?
Also true.
It's not how tough his division is.
100%. So it's a good test for Malajika.
Yes.
And as a South African, I hope he brings the belt home. Regarding Rourke's really looked good in his last couple of fights. He's looking comfortable with the way he boxes and who he is as a boxer and what he does in the ring. And I think he's got a good test in front of him, the guy from Poland. I think I can comfortably say I think Rourke won't have a problem with the guy from Poland. Brandon shares a common opponent with that guy from Poland, Tommy Silvernoyen, who Brandon stopped. This guy beat him on points. So it will be a good fight, but I just think Rourke will be too strong for the other guy.
So fantastic tournament, like I said earlier on.
Definitely.
It's like a triple headliner. You can't even decide which is the main fight? You got 3 main
You
fights.
just got 3 great
You got
fights.
3
but I
great
think South
fights.
Africans are
Fantastic.
just going to have a great night of
Yeah.
boxing.
And I agree with you. I think a guy like Ricardo Malajika's come of age. He's 25 now, and he seems to be just finding the right space at the right time to fight for a world title. And it's his big opportunity.
100%.
He's got to grab it with both
This
hands.
opens up everything for him. So he captures this, and then that just features him in like the top 10 in the world in terms of names, and he's now out there. And then it's the big things after that.
And of course, Napa's now rated number 12 by the WBC,
Yes.
so he's working his way up the ladder there to get that WBC silver and hopefully get into the top 10 of the WBC.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys are a fantastic fight. So that's it that'll be on the 2nd of September, Palace Nights, brought to you by Golden Gloves, World Sports Betting, and of course, your World of Champions Supersport. From me, Brian Mitchell, thank you for watching. Thank you, Damien Durandt.
Brian.
Thank you, Brandon Thysse.
Thank you,
I
Brian.
look forward to seeing you guys soon.